these moments. We seek them, explore them, each of us on our own. And yet, we share these moments. We let the world know we're alive, collect likes. Almost feels like being together. Almost. 'Cause what's better than sharing an adrenaline rush? What's better than being connected by the thrills we experience? What's better than feeling our heartbeats accelerate and synchronize? Maybe just one thing. Experiencing all of this together at once. Right out there, on the road. Together, on every corner. Together, on every joyride. Together, in every seat. Let's sports car together. The new Cayenne.
Porsche's design strategy is based on two pillars. One of these is brand identity, the other is product identity. Brand identity means recognizing that the car is a Porsche. Product identity means recognizing which Porsche it is.
The new Cayenne has of course been defining the Porsche brand very successfully in the segment for over 15 years. This made it all the more important for us at the Porsche Design Studio to continue carrying this success story forward.
It all begins with a sketch. This sketch is elaborated on and thereby finds its way into the digital world. This is the beginning of something that resembles a game of ping pong. In other words, the pictures from the digital data model are revised by hand, and those changes are in turn incorporated in the digital model.
If we go through the car, starting from the front, the wings have become a little more pronounced when viewed from the front, also as regards the shape of the headlights.
Looking inside the headlight unit, you see that it is maximally modeled in 3 dimensions. The large air inlet vents, which are typical of a Porsche, are of course there for technical reasons, but they're also upgraded by very beautiful fine details such as these fins, which are functional too, of course.
The previous model already had a very dynamic roofline, in my opinion. But we've done some more work specifically on this line, as well as on the outline of the side windows.
We now have a markedly flatter roofline, which makes the vehicle sportier. We have also designed a very beautiful dynamic outline for the side windows, making it look even more like a sports car.
I always say, the 3 most important aspects of automotive design are 1. The proportions, 2. The proportions, and 3. The proportions. The relative size of the wheels compared with the body is extremely important, of course. When it comes to the fine-tuning, this includes the design of the rims, which can be made to look a bit bigger. Looking from the rear, we have Porsche's typical brand identity. The cockpit is drawn inwards. We have these shoulders.
We have the ribbon with the rear lights, which is part of the brand identity.
The story behind this is simply that we introduced the ribbon to the sports car as a new element. And this design element was then consecrated and became part of the Porsche brand identity.
In purely stylistic terms, the ribbon of the rear lights help us to distribute the volume better. The car looks distinctly more lightweight.
We adopt exactly the same procedure for the interior as we do for the exterior. Brand identity and product identity.
Here again, it was an important step to move forward into the modern age. That is to say, we now have a large center screen.
The display has become distinctly larger, and it also adopts the idea of touch-sensitive surfaces. We also try to give the driver and passenger the sense of really becoming a part of this machine. One example of this is the upward-sloping center console. The fact that the instrument, as we call it, is slightly curved. That's one of the themes that keep repeating throughout all our model ranges.
It is certainly an inspiration for us, making the existing elements of the car even more typical of Porsche in the next generation.
And we've tried to make things much cleaner, to tidy things up, to produce a calmer interior in which you can concentrate, well, first of all on the road, of course, but also on the beautiful materials, the gracefulness. We also use very high-quality materials, of course. For example, in terms of the types of leather we offer, including top-class leather of club quality. Take a sports seat like this, for example, which has turned out very beautifully. A top-class seat, it looks very sportive with its pronounced shoulders and the integrated headrest, another typical Porsche feature.
And looking at the details, another aspect to be considered is the color. It too is a piece of the mosaic that makes a car look new.
Porsche's new Remote Park Assist comprises a multitude of functions offering a high degree of safety and convenience in everyday situations. The 3D surround view allows customers to take a virtual stroll around the car during the parking maneuver. The surround view is generated from the images captured by 4 cameras fitted to the exterior mirrors as well as the front and rear end of the car. The novelty of this system is that the driver can turn the vehicle virtually around by 360 degrees as if standing outside the car and thereby detect obstacles that would otherwise remain invisible from the perspective of the driving seat. The active parking assistant helps when parking the car. When driving past a parking spot, the vehicle will automatically measure the dimensions of the space using ultrasound and its onboard cameras. The parking process itself is then initiated by a press of a button. The vehicle will then park independently, taking over the steering, braking, accelerating and gear shifts. We now also offer the driver the possibility to use his smartphone from outside the vehicle to unlock the car, start it, and have it drive out autonomously from the parking space or garage. All he has to do is to take his seat afterwards and drive off. Obviously, it also works the other way round, and he can use his smartphone to park the car. This can be done both diagonal as well as parallel, backwards as well as forwards. 2 further safety functions are the egress warner and the rear cross traffic alert, which are both controlled via the rear radar sensor. The egress warner will optically alert the driver of any vehicle passing by before he disembarks the car. In parking situations with impaired overviews, the rear cross traffic alert will provide an optical acoustical warning, and in emergency situations, even apply the brakes. The trailer maneuvering assist aids when reverse parking a trailer. All the driver has to do is to set the angle at which the trailer shall be parked, and the vehicle will take over the rest. The driver no longer has to steer, but only accelerates and decelerates. The maneuvering assist helps the driver in tight and narrow maneuvering situations, warning him, for example, before collisions with a curb. The situation is displayed on the PCM and nudges the vehicle with a steering impulse to prevent a collision with the curb side.
It's moving me forward. No need to look back and walk the old track. I'm flying over the mountain and seas and cities and streets. This road is open. It has no end. Can understand Freeman. And it gives and it takes and it makes and it breaks until you're free. Burning feeling, it'll chase me down like a jailhouse hound until I'm free. So I gotta keep moving. I got to keep moving. I got to keep on moving.
Hey, Dad, can we give Lisa a ride home? Sure.
Thanks for the ride.
The new Porsche Cayenne. There's nothing like the feeling when you sports car together.